Hi there, happy Sunday from me and Trixabelle, who's insisted on sitting on my knee, which is a great joy because I'm wearing navy blue and she sheds. So I'm going to look like the hairy yeti in about 10 minutes time. Are you jumping down, sweetie pie, because you're quite heavy? She may only look small, but my goodness, she has some weight. She's quite a chunky monkey, aren't you, darling? Oh, go and sit with your sister. Rosie is sitting on the sofa. You may have seen a picture of them both on Facebook. This one's got legs that weigh 6 ton. I bruise very easily and she tramples all over the top of my legs, you know. I think she's a little bit annoyed because she's not had lunch and it's 3 o'clock, so it's a bit late to give her any lunch now. Family have gone out. No, not where. They said they'd be out for a couple of hours. They've been gone they've been gone at least 3-4 hours already, so that's just a couple of hours to my family. They'll probably be back before nightfall. Anyway, my Rosie is sleeping on the sofa, and you're going to go down because, I'm sorry darling, but you're very heavy. Oh! There's my Rose. She's sleeping on the sofa. She's such a good little girl. She doesn't bother about Grandma. Yeah. Please don't ask me about this cardigan. I made it many years ago. It took me forever to make because the pattern was one of those it was intricate at the time, and it never fitted me. But I was like, I'm going to keep this. It took me so long to do it, I'm going to keep it, you know. And now the dog's, she's chewing a piece of wood. I know you're hungry, darling, but please not eating wood, eh? That's not a good idea. So I've no idea what the pattern is. It was like generations ago when I made it. It's nice, but I've no idea the pattern. Anyway, talking about patterns, I bought one from Etsy. I won't tell the lady's name, but I couldn't get it to work out. It's only a headband. Couldn't get it to work out. So I said to Sarah, you know, my friend Sarah, I said, yeah, am I being stupid or what? I said, I can't get it to work out. So she said, no, it is wrong. And somebody else has told her that the pattern's wrong. But no, she hasn't altered it. She's still got it for sale. It would be a nice pattern if I can get it to work out. Trixie, what are you eating? Oh, she's got another piece of wood. Anyway, I've just made one video on a short one on YouTube. It's a blatant selling video. I thought, well, I'll try it once. Other people do them, don't they? Saying these are for sale, these are for sale. Sorry about the cough. So far, nobody on. Excuse me, let me have a drink. So far, oh dear. So far, nobody on Facebook has made a comment, so I finished off one shawl. Oh, I can't get rid of this cough. Finished off the shawl I was making, the circular one. I wouldn't say I was happy with the pattern. It was a free one, so what do you expect? It was called Be a Friend Shawl by Yarnspirations. And it wasn't wrong, the pattern's not wrong, but it wasn't the easiest to follow. Sometimes I find that they'd give you either too much information or not enough or whatever. Either way, maybe I was being thick, I don't know. But that's how it finished up. If you remember, this was the cake that started off with green. So I didn't think these colours went with green. So I stopped doing the green shawl, and I'm still waiting to find something to finish the green shawl off with. I would have preferred to have continued, you know, with a green theme, rather than put pink and purple with pale green, yeah. So we shall see. It's a really big semicircular. It's not very deep, but it's very wide. But the beauty of these is that they squash, and you can wear them as, you know, a scarf really. And they are 50% cotton, so they're not in the slightest bit itchy. So I'm hoping that we sell them. Because I did buy rather a lot of cakes, if you remember. And I don't mean cakes eat cakes, I mean cakes of yarn. I did start another one last night while I was on the live, which is kind of autumnal shades, isn't it? But I've only got to the, it would be nice, wouldn't it, a shawl all done in this colour. Very summery, oh gosh. Please don't eat wood on this sofa. Ugh. It's like having a family of chipmunks. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, for that, I'm following. I really love following. It's Lisa Pine Notes, her diagram, which I find much easier. Other people have liked... stop it. She's digging a hole in the sofa now. Stop it, Trixie. Other people have liked fibre spiders, things like that, but I prefer to use this chart. And I know loads of people have told me that Bag O' Day's done them with bits in between of like round the post crochet, but I'm just happy with this one, and I just like this one. I've got many more shawl patterns, as you know, but that I bought recently. And I also bought two beautiful ones from Ravelry. I think one's called the Tea something shawl, which I'll do in the future. But when I'm doing my lives, I can't concentrate, so I have to have something I can do without thinking about, yeah? I think I showed you this, didn't I? I did buy this off eBay, which I quite like for myself. I'm not making it for the craft fair because garments don't seem to sell that well at craft fairs. And this one, with it being up towards a Christmassy fair, we're just thinking of doing small items, you know. I will do a video once I get into my crafting shed. Everything is packed away in totes, so it's very, you know, secure. It's not going to get dusty, dirty, it's not chucked on the floor or anything like that. It's all very secure in boxes, but it does need sorting out because they're not really in any kind of an order. So I keep putting off going in there, you know, and opening up each box and having a look and making a box of the stuff I'm going to take. Because if you remember, if you've seen my videos in the past where I showed everything I had made up, I've got lots of the, you know, the lovely cowls that fasten with a brooch or fasten with beautiful buttons that have matching hats. I've got lots of those. I've got hat and scarf sets. I've got fingerless gloves. All bits of things, you know, and hats. I've got loads and loads of hats that I made up right when I had nothing to crochet. I thought, well, I'll use my oddballs and make hats, which I did. So, you know, if they don't sell eventually, which will be very low prices at the craft fair, then they will get donated to the homeless, no doubt, because I'm not keeping these hats, yeah. Only got one head, you know, I can't wear about 25 hats, can I? So that's what I've got, but I'm not taking the garments, I'm just not, because I don't think there will be saleable items at the craft fair. I think small things. My friend Sarah's concentrating on making more Christmassy items, you know, little Christmas ornaments and things. I've also got some key ring that I can attach things to. I've seen some lovely little like Christmas pudding things that you attach onto a key ring. And, you know, little reindeers and stuff like that, yeah. So that's what I'll be doing, yeah. Can't wait for my scooter to arrive. I've actually sent for some new goggles because my other goggles, that were my son's, have started to perish. It's not surprising, is it, with all the wind and the rain? So do you like my new ones? They're actually quite sweet, these, because they've got different... I can't get rid of this cough. They've got different lenses that snap in. You know, you've actually got like the darker ones, like those. And they all come with their own bits of, you know, that's the bits that's perished on my other one, the little rubbery bits. They've perished. Hardly surprising, is it, with all... I mean, I've been wearing them solidly for about 18 months and they've had all sorts thrown at them, sand, spray, wind, rain, everything has been chucked at them, so it's not surprising, is it? So anyway, there's not an awful lot I've got to say really. I think I said most of it last night. We got onto the subject, you know, of my childhood again, as usual. You know, it seems to be a recurring theme these days, doesn't it? and about how people used to help each other back in the day, you know, which it doesn't seem to be so much these days. These days it seems to have to be a charity, you know, that helps people out, or a food bank that helps people out. Whereas back in the day, neighbours helped each other. But a lot of that sadly has gone. Depends which area you live in. I mean, some areas are still quite integral, is that the word, where they all know each other, help each other. But sadly, with the bigger towns and more people are transient, they move around with jobs, they don't stay in a house for long, they don't put down roots like, you know, back in the day when you had a house you stayed in it, you know, you didn't flit round like a wandering gypsy, as my, sorry gypsies, like my dad used to say, you know, they need a caravan, they don't stay anywhere long enough. My friend's a bit like that. I think she told me how many houses she'd had in her lifetime. I mean, I had one house I was born in, that was my mum and dad's house. Then we went to Wales briefly, hoping we were going to settle there, and we didn't. And then we came back to the same house that we'd left in the first place, because we'd sold it to relatives and they sold it back to us. So you can't really call that a separate house, can you? And then when I was about 11, we moved to the shop, which had living accommodation behind it and above it. And I stayed there until I got married, and I moved into the house in Prestwich when I got married. And I stayed there until almost 2 years ago when we moved here. So you can't exactly call me a rolling stone, really, you know. People were like, you lived in the same house for 52 years. And I'm like, yes, I was quite happy there. And I would have stayed there, to be truthful with you, but it was the stairs. You know, the situation with the arthritis, knees, back, etc., etc. Old story, old news. But I kept falling. And I fell down the stairs. And I fell down the stairs one too many times. I ripped the banister out the wall because I yanked on it when I was falling down the stairs. So then I caught COVID. And I was really, really ill. 3 weeks in bed, not moving. I was so ill. And my son said, look, you know, we're thinking of moving. We can't leave you here if we're moving away. What happens if you fall down the stairs? Who's going to rescue you? You know. So we decided we'd move, and we moved here, so I don't know why. I'm sorry, Fleetwood, but it's not the best place in the world, yeah. And here's probably where I will stay. Unless I win the lottery, of course, but what did I win last night? Another lucky dip. I'm very good at winning lucky dips. I win a lucky dip, and my lucky dip ticket wins another lucky dip. And it goes on and on and on. I keep winning lucky dips. But sadly, no money, you know, comes my way. We were talking again on the live last night. Well, I was talking, you were all listening. You know, I don't want gazillions and millions, you know. I would just like enough, you know. So that I could move if I wanted to. I've always yearned to go like in a Miss Marple type village. But it'd have to be one with a shop, you know. Sorry, I don't have a car, so I would be a bit stranded if it didn't have a little, you know, a corner shop, some post office, which they're shutting down everywhere. But I would like a... Oh, I'm being summoned. Anyway, I will speak to you very soon. Bye now.